Hey guys, this is going to be the first ever reaction video on this channel. I know it's going to be a little awkward for my first one. I'm using a pretty old webcam for this, but this video means a lot to me because it's disgusting. Okay, what you're about to see is Kamala Harris praise Liz Cheney and praise Dick Cheney, and as a hardened Democrat, it goes against everything that I believe in. Okay, so let's watch this and let's react to this. I've seen this like a couple times, but every single time I still react to it. And then we're going to go over who Liz Cheney really is. But then again, if you're watching this channel, you know quite a bit about the Cheneys, most likely. So let's watch this. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's awful. Really awful. Oh, my God. Not even, like, Republicans will go out there and, like, praise the Cheneys. Like, if you ask Republicans, what do you think about the Bush administration? They'll be like, oh, no. Like, Republicans will praise Reagan or HW or Trump. Not his administration. Because I think we can all agree, wasn't that good. Oh, God. And here's the phrase, country over party. You know, as of right now, Kamala Harris is taking advice from Hillary Clinton, of all people, even though she lost. You can see it right here. Hillary Clinton did a similar thing with Bush neocons, and it was an unmitigated disaster, just as you're about to see. And you're campaigning in Wisconsin. Oh, my God. Oh, God. You know, let's keep going. This is bad.
And so I do want to say a bit more about Liz Cheney. You all know her leadership, and she has obviously and so importantly been a leader for the people of Wyoming.
Oh,
but
God.
She's also been an extraordinary national leader.
Extraordinary national leader. We're gonna get into that.
And has served with great honor.
Served with great honor. She's a warmonger. She's a Cheney. Like, this flies in the face of just everything that any Democrat would believe.
And she not only, as she has talked today, recognizes that character is among the most important attributes of leadership, but she also personifies that attribute. And she possesses some of the qualities of character that I most respect in any individual and any leader.
Oh, Lord. You know, this makes, like, this whole Big Tent party thing, you know, this is basically the equivalent of Trump campaigning with Al Gore. It makes no sense. They don't agree with you on anything. They only agree. Liz Cheney only agrees with the Democrats on one thing, is that Trump tried to overturn an election. That's it. Everything else, like, in terms of, like, policy, the actual things that matter, she's against everything that the Democrats believe in. So, do you know how you handle a Cheney endorsement? Okay, thanks, and that's it. But this is the exact wrong approach.
Courage, especially at a moment like this, where there are so many powerful forces that have been intent on trying to demean and belittle and make people afraid. And there are many who know it is wrong, and then there are those who have the courage to speak out loudly about it, and the conviction to speak truth. And, you know, it is so admirable when anyone does it, and especially when it is difficult to do in an environment such as this.
Oh, a really high bar right there. Wow, she said Trump lost an election. Oh my God, endless praise. Come on, man. Come on. Really? Is this how low the bar is? Are you serious? And also, like, Kamala Harris doesn't really campaign that much because she has this whole stupid strategy of just like, oh, let Trump keep on talking and saying dumb stuff, even though the election is super close right now. And when she does campaign, it's ridiculous stuff like this. Or she goes on The View, or she goes on Saturday Night Live, or she goes on The Late Show, which, again, I understand it's harder to get a message out now since everything's online and like people are very, very partisan. Like only Democrats really watch a Harris rally or The View or these like California Valley shows or whatever they are. But like this is not going to help at all. The whole idea behind this is that she's going to try and get the Never Trumpers, but the reaction is going to be from Democrats like myself is just like, what are you doing? And the reaction from Republicans is like, what is she doing? What? Like, nobody likes the Cheneys. Nobody does. So, let's keep on watching.
But Liz Cheney really is a leader who puts country above party and above self, a true patriot.
Above self, yeah. We're going to get into that as well when it comes to her voting record. You're going to see that that's not the case.
Profound honor to have your support.
Look at all the boomers.
I also want to thank your father, Vice President Dick Cheney.
Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts. Okay, as a staunch Mondale supporter, that hurts. You're thanking Dick Cheney for his service. Let's remind you what Dick Cheney has done. Okay, we got the war in Iraq. $7 trillion down the drain. He has the blood of hundreds of thousands of people on his hands. You have enhanced interrogation. Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, they're war criminals. You are justifying war criminals. As a Democrat, you're a Democrat. You're supposed to be the anti-war party. Yet you're on there praising a warmonger, Liz Cheney, and a war criminal, Dick Cheney. What is going on here? Like, honestly, if Kamala Harris loses this election, like, I don't really care. I'm not going to lose any sleep at night because it would be rightfully so. This flies in the face that, you know what? And this is just in terms of war. We're not even going to get into, like, we're going to get into the policy specifics later on. But how can you do this? Like, again, it's like if Trump comes out and says, like, oh, I'm campaigning with Al Gore, and I'm going to thank him for, like, everything he's done for the environment. Like, they don't agree with anything. Oh, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
For his support. And,
like, you would never see this in the early 2000s. You would never, ever see this at all. Like, you think, like, Ted Kennedy or, like, any of these older Democrats from back then would be... This wouldn't even cross their minds to do something like this.
And what he has done to serve our country. Every endorsement matters, and this endorsement matters a great deal, Liz, and it carries a special significance because, as you said, we may not see eye to eye on every issue. Every issue,
the actual number is that Liz Cheney votes with Donald Trump 93% of the time. 93% of the time. This is honestly ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, oh my God.
And we are going to get back to a healthy two-party system. I am sure of that, where we will have vigorous debate.
This is big Hillary Clinton vibes right here. This is how you lose an election. Okay? She is still somewhat the favorite, but according to Real Clear Politics today, Michigan has flipped, and I can see why. But if you don't know who Liz Cheney is, we'll read about the policy specifics because that's what really matters at the end of the day. We're going to tell you who Liz Cheney is and why this makes absolutely no sense as a Democrat to do. Oh, party before self, even though you're going to campaign with somebody who agrees with you on almost nothing. So, almost anything, anyway. So, Liz Cheney. Let's talk about her voting record. I pulled up a couple of little things here. I was on there for like 3 minutes and I pulled up all this stuff. So the Inflation Reduction Act voted against. Well, she's for the people. Yeah, right. Medical Marijuana Research Act voted no. LGBTQ I plus, I think that's I, Inclusion Act, Data Inclusion Act. So if you're not straight, she doesn't care about you. Voted against that. Consumer Fuel Price Gouging Prevention Act. These are all layup of bills, by the way. These are all layups. Voted against. Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act of 2021. Voted against. Build Back Better Act, the crowning achievement of the Biden administration, and flies in the face of everything that Harris supposedly is campaigning on. She voted against. Protecting Older Workers Against Discrimination Act of 2021, voted against. Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2021, voted against. Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, voted against. So, is she really someone of the people? No. Unless if you're super, super rich, or if you're for war. No War Against Iran Act, voted against. So, yeah, she's a warmonger. She's a Cheney. We already know this. Lower Drug Costs Now Act of 2019, voted against. So, you can kind of see how Liz Cheney is, but we'll go into her stances on the issue. She is vehemently against abortion. Okay? Now, whether you're for or against abortion, that doesn't really matter. But the fact of the matter is that Kamala Harris is pro-choice, and you are praising somebody who would, if push comes to shove, if you have to, want to reauthorize Roe v. Wade, or some type of bill goes in the Senate, in the House, she's going to vote against it. Okay? In terms of national security, do you support reducing military intervention in the Middle East? No, of course she doesn't. Of course she doesn't. She's a Cheney. Of course she's not against war. She opposed a $1.9 trillion ARPA bill for COVID relief. Yeah. Doesn't care about climate change, and she's against any type of healthcare reform. This is who you're going to campaign with. And also Kamala Harris went on the record saying that, hey, I want a Republican in my administration. She means Liz Cheney. We don't need the Cheney name back in politics. We don't. Okay? This is a very, very low bar. This is a new low. And she should be ashamed. Praising Dick Cheney and not even just looking at the record, the stuff that he's done. Okay? I think a lot of people who live in Western countries sometimes lack some empathy, especially when they're super, super rich, and don't realize that these wars have real life consequences for real people. Imagine you're living your life, then all of a sudden a missile comes down. Oh my God. We're lucky that we never have to deal with that kind of stuff. But because of people like Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, that kind of stuff happens. Dick Cheney, Iraq War, offensively invading a country that didn't attack us. How on earth can you praise that? It's beyond me. So yeah, it just seems like a justification for just all the horrible things that the Cheneys have done. And this is just, it's a classic Hillary Clinton move. And if you want to lose an election, this is how you do it. Okay? Don't campaign with the Cheneys. Don't praise them. The way you react to their endorsement is, okay, thanks. And that's it. That's all they had to do. But Kamala Harris, she comes out and does stuff like this. This should fly in the face of just everyone who supports the Democratic Party, especially right now when you have, the war in Israel, in Lebanon, and, what's happening in Israel right now. And Kamala Harris has an avenue, a clear avenue, to take an anti-war stance like, hey, how will we stop sending our money to foreign countries, and spend our money at home? How about we stop funneling all our money into Israel to stop funding them? She has a clear avenue, but she refuses to take it, which is just ridiculous. If she would have done that, this election would have been already over. But it's not over. It's getting close. getting closer and closer and closer, and Trump has a real chance of winning. And honestly, after this, if Trump wins, I'm not going to lose any sleep at night, because what can be said about this? It's a disgrace. She should be ashamed. And there is no time and a place for praising somebody like Dick Cheney, especially as a Democrat. Anyway, that's my opinion on the matter. More videos coming soon.